Hey everybody, my name is Drake, this is Paul, this is Why We Game, the channel where we play games, review games, and tastefully disagree. Today we'll be looking at footage of The Last of Us 2. Very exciting time.
Yeah, we want to get into it and share that, kind of like us reacting with you guys. So we're just going to jump right into it, minimize ourselves here. All right, boys, here we go. Last of Us Part 2, State of Play. Give us something good, Neil Druckmann.
I wish things were different.
Horses.
I wish things were different. Ellie!
There she is.
There's our girl.
She looks old. Matured.
But they ain't.
He looks old.
Yeah, you want to talk about old and matured. Ooh, look at that.
Please stop!
Yeah, she's supposed to be brutal slayer. She doesn't need to be begging anybody to please stop.
So messed her up there. And gray hair.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with this?
How'd you find us?
You can't stop this.
I want what you want. But not at any cost. I really hope you make it.
She looks shook right there, bro.
Scared.
I have to finish it.
There's a cost.
Yo, it's so tense. I feel tense just off the trailer.
You. Maybe you should have.
That's always the right response when someone says that to you.
Yeah, maybe you should have. Get some of that.
I'm
Last
Neil
of Us
Druckmann,
Part 2.
Vice President of Naughty Dog and the director of The Last of Us Part 2. We're just a few weeks away from launch on June 19th, when the game will finally be in your hands. The wait has been long, and we're extremely grateful for your patience, especially now in the midst of these unprecedented and challenging times. We hope you're all taking care of yourselves and that you, your friends, and your loved ones are doing well. Because of these extraordinary circumstances, we can't be together in this final stretch and share the experience like we usually would. So today we're trying something different. Something we've never done before.
That's what they all say.
It's got the shakes.
Never done this.
Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to give you an in-depth look into what awaits you in The Last of Us Part 2, including new details about the gameplay experience and story. And to cap it all off, we'll be showing a never-before-seen, lengthy gameplay sequence. You'll definitely want to stick around for that.
It looks beautiful from what they're showing.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. They were actually going to make a cure.
You did what you had to, Joel.
The only catch,
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did wrong, Joel.
it would kill her.
Make it right.
The Last of Us Part 2 picks up Ellie and Joel's story several years after the events of the first game. Ellie and Joel have settled in Jackson, Wyoming, amongst a thriving community of survivors. With the threats of the world kept outside the town's walls, Jackson has been able to find relative peace and even stability. Ellie is now 19, lives on her own, and has been able to forge lasting relationships within the community.
Scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
Pathetic.
However,
No answer.
this
That's
peace
rough.
No
is
answer.
short-lived.
Good effort.
Jackson and Ellie suffer a violent and traumatizing event. Ellie sets off back into the treacherous outside world in search of retribution and justice.
I hope that we're on a horse. I hope that we control
Her journey
the
will
horse.
take her to new parts of the country previously unexplored in The Last of Us. the story spans multiple seasons and climates, from the snow-capped mountains of Jackson to the lush Pacific Northwest. Each introduces a wide range of exterior and interior environments for you to navigate and explore, rendered in meticulous detail and unprecedented scale with the latest iteration of the Naughty Dog engine.
It's making it sound like it's more
Our
mobile.
goal was to make these environments not only beautiful, but feel as grounded and authentic to the cities they're based on as possible. Much of the story unfolds in what remains of Seattle, a massive former quarantine zone. Its locales are incredibly diverse, spanning a dense city center with a skyline of towering high-rises to the beautiful suburbs and stormy waterfronts that surround it. The city exhibits drastic shifts in architecture, elevation, and weather. And with Part 2, we've introduced new traversal mechanics that afford greater exploration and ways to navigate threats. Ellie is not only able to climb and jump over gaps, but she can use ropes to scale vertical terrain or swing over obstacles.
Okay, I just want to pause it and say that right there is something that we did not mention in our other video for like expectations for The Last of Us 2, but it's something that like now that I'm hearing it and thinking about it, verticality in this game could, like, when you're talking about the stealth mechanics of it, the verticality aspect could be something that makes it way better. And if you watch the other video, you know that was definitely one thing that we harped on was the stealth,
allowing you to discover new areas, resources, and side narratives.
Side narratives. That sounds like there's
These more open environments also create new strategic considerations in combat.
I'll do it.
Whether it's to get the jump on enemies or bypass them entirely.
That looks exciting. I want all that smoke.
The Last of Us Part 2 features some of the largest environments we've ever created. Horseback riding will allow Ellie to quickly cover some of these expansive terrains. Some streets are so flooded that a boat is required to navigate them. However, the world of The Last of Us is as lush and inviting as it is deadly.
It better be.
As Ellie uncovers the path to finding those who have wronged her, she must face the many threats of this unknown city. In the wake of the pandemic and the fall of the quarantine zone, Seattle has become a war zone, where two warring factions find themselves in an ongoing conflict for territory and resources.
More factions, it looks like.
One of these groups is the Washington Liberation Front, otherwise known as the WLF. The WLF are a militia group that began as resistance to the military occupation of Seattle and eventually wrestled control of the city from them. They are highly trained, organized,
The new
and well-equipped
Fireflies.
with weapons they stole from the army.
New fire.
They occupy much of the city,
they'll be evil
imprisoning
in the
or
end,
killing
but-
trespassers on sight.
Okay, yeah. There it is. On site. What is that? Gosh.
So brutal.
On the other side of this bloody conflict is a group of religious zealots called the Seraphites,
It's like
Or
literally the
scars.
only thing worse.
defined by the self-inflicted deep cuts that they bear across their faces.
Oh.
Like the WLF, they're deeply tribalistic and territorial. They're known for being stealthy, using overgrowth as cover, and they use more silent weapons like bows and arrows.
Clip her wings.
Clip the wings. What does that mean? Well, what are we clipping? Where's the wing?
Her wings, obviously.
The wings. I see.
But beyond this conflict among survivors, the threat that originally brought the world to its knees is very much present. Every human is in danger of falling victim to the infected. There are the recently infected runners, who are more numerous and aggressive in this game. The blind but extremely deadly clickers, and the stalkers, who sneak and hide until they're ready to attack.
Okay, hold on. Again, if you watch the other video, you know that was one of the things that I said would make this game better. But I mentioned it not in the form of zombie AI, I mentioned it in human AI. But if you're telling me that you can create a zombie that lurks in the shadows and stalks you, you darn sure better be doing that with the human AI. I want to feel tension no matter who the encounter is with. I'm not bashing this because obviously this is a good thing. I'm just saying that I hope it's with zombies and humans.
And I hope this kind of destroys the idea of the in-game safe space where I go here and nothing can touch me and I can just chill and craft things. I want constant tension. I want to be almost hunted.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad they introduced
Surprising
that.
their victims with extreme agility and brutal violence. The Last of Us Part 2 introduces new stages of infected, such as the Shamblers. Large, heavily armored enemies that are covered in pustule. Upon getting close to you, they expel a corrosive spore cloud that burns its victims. But our most terrifying and lethal new forms of infected?
Show
You'll
us.
have to wait until you play the game for yourselves.
Like a
It sounds
T-Rex.
terrifying.
T-Rex.
Overcoming these threats will require careful consideration of how you approach every combat encounter and how you leverage Ellie's unique skills, equipment, and the environment to your advantage. The WLF patrol the streets of Seattle with guard dogs,
I'm
which
not
are
killing
capable
dogs.
of detecting
Well,
and
you
following
will if you want to
even while in cover.
survive.
They can pick up your scent and alert their handlers to your presence. Listen mode will reveal your scent trail, so keep moving and cause distractions to avoid
They
detection.
won't need a central. I'm gonna leave them treats.
25 years after the pandemic began, the world is completely overgrown. Use tall grass to hide from enemies and go prone to stay out of sight. However, this form of analog stealth means you're never fully hidden. If enemies get close enough, they can discover you, even in grass. When Ellie is overwhelmed, running away is a viable option. You can also break glass or crawl through tight spaces to find new paths or areas to evade or take on your enemies. In any given combat situation, you can flee an encounter and re-establish stealth to regain the advantage.
Okay.
If you
hold on. What he just said, in any combat situation, you can flee to reestablish stealth. I'm really hoping that doesn't mean that we go full stupid. You know, we throw a brick. You're looking dead at me, and I throw a brick behind you, and you turn around like, "Ugh."
I think I heard something.
That stuff is okay in 2013, but that's where it needs to stay, man. We can't have that anymore. So hopefully that's not what they mean.
You absolutely have to fight your way out, there are a variety of tools at your disposal. Ellie's more agile than most of her enemies. She can sprint and quickly dodge incoming attacks. Learning how opponents attack with different weapons and mastering the timing of your dodges
That's pretty cool.
will prevent you from taking damage and create opportunities to counterattack. You can use throwable items or well-placed shots to stun enemies before dealing a killing blow. Or using them as a shield to protect yourself or buy some time to figure out your next move.
This is some Joel taught of that.
Yeah. That's got Joel written all over it for sure.
Ellie isn't always alone on her journey. Allies will take part in helping you navigate the environments, spot enemies, and meaningfully help you in combat encounters.
Back off!
Glad it still looks very brutal, the whole game. The vibe of it.
Between the human survivors and the roaming infected, there will be times where multiple threats are present, creating new strategic considerations and opportunities.
I want it to be more mayhem, though.
You can choose whether to attack these opponents separately and directly, or find ways to pit them against each other.
So this isn't necessarily new.
No.
This is something that I did this
Flee
a
as
few
they
times.
fight, or
A few times you could get the zombies to kill the people.
Yeah, I don't think it's new. I think he's explaining it maybe for someone who hasn't experienced
That's possible.
the first one. I don't know. I don't see a way where, like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to, like, set a trap and then make the zombies go get the humans. Maybe they find different ways for you to do it in this one, aside from, like, throwing a brick or a bottle in a general direction. But, like, I know, for example, in, like, Days Gone, there were so many things that you could do to draw not just a few zombies onto your enemies, but just like massive amounts of hordes. I don't know if anything that this game is capable of could be more satisfying in this regard. So, I mean, it's cool, but give us something more than just throw a brick in a direction and, you know what I mean, here come the zombies. Like, I hope that's not it.
or wait until their numbers have thinned out and engage with whomever's left.
Get out of here.
No one's running from
I'm out of here.
Our goal is to create unparalleled tension, coupled with deep systems that give you greater control and influence over your journey. As you play, you'll be able to invest in a broad collection of crafting items, weapon, and player upgrades through training manuals scattered throughout the environment. And
see, the crafting tree is a little bit bigger than it was.
Yeah.
See, like everyone has like ticks down now. This is pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see what they fill these with.
I hope we still have healing speed.
Healing speed. Running joke. The guy ran through the whole first one and only developed the most useless crafting. Yes, you did the most useless skill.
The layman doesn't understand the art.
And
Alright,
scavenging for ingredients.
I'm done with you.
Leave it at that.
These skills and upgrade manuals cater to a variety of playstyles, and the choices you make will create your own distinct experience. We also wanted to extend that agency and personalization to your weapons through our new workbench system.
This is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Scavenge for parts to modify and improve your weapon's performance and attributes, all of which are visualized and become part of your character.
Okay, that's cool.
I like that.
And now you're using the sniper, so that's pretty sweet.
Who's this dog?
Survival will also require using the parts and ingredients that you'll find in the environment, which can be crafted into a wide range of defensive and offensive items, like proximity mines, explosive arrows, pistol suppressors, and more.
Did it blow up?
Yeah, he blew up.
All of these gameplay systems are meant to immerse you in the world and make you feel in lockstep with Ellie's emotional journey.
Is it the Firefly symbol?
I think so.
As we've said before, this is Naughty Dog's largest, most ambitious game. It may seem like we covered a lot, but we've only scratched the surface of what it's like to play The Last of Us Part 2. We can't wait for you to experience it all for yourself on June 19th. Until then, here's an extended sequence of never-before-seen gameplay.
Gameplay!
Enjoy.
We want the gameplay. Let's go.
Water is fixed. That's beautiful.
We need a raft, Ellie.
Dive under and
Yeah! Go, Ellie, you're swimming!
she's a full-on guppy.
Wow, look at you. That's what I'm talking about.
You remember Guppy School?
Now that's character development. Oh my gosh, thank God, no more rafts.
I do love that.
Did you find her yet?
Shit. You find them yet?
Oh man.
Awfully familiar.
Isaac's not happy about it.
Escape. The fuck are they talking about?
Talk your trash then, Ellie. We're holding our breath. Not only are we swimming, we're diving.
Well,
Next level stuff from her.
We're the master now. Probably have to get a raft for Joel. He can't.
Raft for Joel. Old man Joel.
Oh man.
Ah!
Barely float. Yeah. What is this? Gets caught.
I know. It's the end.
Jam the square button so you get unloose.
Our first victim of the gameplay.
On the Game Boy?
Don't make a fucking sound. Hands up.
Easy.
Do you know a girl named Nora?
Sure, yeah.
Where is she?
In the hospital.
Where in the hospital?
Yeah, they're clearing out the upper floors. She's somewhere in there.
Why would you try that?
Oh.
And that's what you get. That's what you get. I'm more shocked that she had a working, like, you know,
Yeah.
PS there.
Yeah, what was that? It wasn't an old school Game Boy.
No, it's been years now.
I mean, you gotta assume they're gonna like run through AA batteries. And where are you plugging that sucker in for recharge?
Exactly.
Crazy.
I mean, in the expansion, I think they found out that everyone still has power, just the government turned off all the switches. But, like, still, where are you producing that?
I mean, you could from like
still
dams
work?
and stuff, yeah.
But what do you get on it? It's not internet. It's not.
You gotta have the cartridges and blow 'em.
They put you with Joe again?
Hey, we get the job done.
I bet you do. Oh, this is not fair.
I'm telling you, man. Data
Gotta get up in this Assassin's Creed tall grass, though.
Shoot your shot.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Fuck. Sounds like scars are getting closer.
Hope that's our guys executing those freaks.
Hey, did you hear why we're all getting called up to the fob?
I heard that Isaac wants us to retake all of downtown.
I heard we might take the fight to them.
Oh, no way. Not after what went down last time. Even Isaac isn't that crazy.
It's what I heard.
Shut up. All right, calm down.
It's so brutal, man.
Didn't even flinch. Didn't care. He's just another thing in the way for her.
Charlotte! We're under attack! Sticky tape from that way!
Did you light it and then put it in your pocket?
Save that for later. Uh-oh. It's a dog.
No.
And it's fire. Do we hear the noises?
Oh, it hurts my soul. No. We can't.
Gosh.
No. We don't get down like that.
I have to watch where the red fern grows to repent from just seeing this.
My Ellie won't be doing that.
Oh, okay. They'll sniff you out. They'll find you.
That's fine.
They're dogs.
They can come get these pets.
It's not for a pet.
No, listen. They'll run up on me and find out that it's all about a good belly rub. I like her forearm tat.
Yeah. Is it a... What is that?
It's very Luka Doncic.
Just like that.
I don't know if I...
He's got a tat right there.
You're so cool.
Pink.
See, I like they didn't just plop his hat off and then he was okay.
Yeah, that was the thing in the last one, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
You
were
would
just
shoot him
hitting
in the face and then the hat would just pop off. Like I just hit you in the jaw. And then you're okay to go for another 3 rounds. I guess a hat, not a helmet. He was bald.
I'll go check it out.
Poor bald
Poor
guy.
guy's why he's wearing the hat.
Holy shit! Shit! Look out! No! Over here! Drop her now, crook!
Shut it.
I found her!
Oh no.
I found her!
I think she found you, my guy.
Exactly. I would like to see horses. Maybe a world map. Or
We
like
need to
an
just
area
play
map.
Red Dead if you want some horses.
I mean, not the horse. It's the idea that you can. It's not completely linear. It worked last time, but
there's not necessarily a direct correlation between horses and linear
well, they're,
gameplay.
I'm just, they're transportation. So
Give us some zombies. We're in a dark, scary place now. Give us zombies.
a lot of roaches, man.
Ugh. Yeah, I wouldn't make it in the apocalypse. I wouldn't.
Because the zombies, spiders.
I feel like I'd handle the zombies better than any kind of bugs.
Maybe if you posted more guards, Abby would still be herself.
The fuck was Abby here?
I'm not stupid. You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this...
I'm getting tired of this.
Nora.
She died, bro.
Nora!
We never
I'm
saw
not
her
going
die.
down for her, man.
She just said she died. Maybe she assumed she died. Maybe she was a liar like Joel is.
I'll bet you money.
Don't scream. Put that shit down. You remember me?
Remember me? Is that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same haircut?
Shut up. It's not her.
I think it's her.
They could have met in a previous portion of this same game.
A woman that looks just like her. I mean, there's only so many people that are alive anyway. Maybe.
Good old PlayStation State of Play. All right, man. Well, that was the State of Play from PS5 for The Last of Us 2. A lot of questions that we had answered. Some pretty good stuff. I think my favorite portion of it was definitely not killing dogs. But like I mentioned, the verticality probably and how that might affect sort of stealth and things that you're capable of doing. What about you?
Still don't know if it's going to be more open world with transportation using the horses. I mean, I almost don't want it to be open world. I want it to be just as linear as it was beforehand because they tell the story so well. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it would be bad to expand a little bit and maybe have some side missions that you can do. Maybe tell the story, but maybe have some side things that you can manipulate and switch.
Okay, so side missions. What do you get from completing a side mission? What's the incentive?
More gameplay.
Okay.
Just as a start, which would be cool to have. Generally, they like to change the story. I don't want the story to change, so a side mission that maybe gives you resources has a different sort of effect other than story-driven. Like, okay, you can go into this place and there's 50 zombies there, but you'll get like a flamethrower or something.
Right.
If you...
Like skill points. I mean, we saw
skill points.
We saw a skill tree, kind of, right? Like, then they kind of had one in the first one, and it looked bigger. But I'm afraid for the side quests to be worth it. You know what I mean? They would need to be more skills. I don't know. We could go into that just a little bit more in another video, man. That said, that is going to end the video. If you guys enjoyed watching this with us and watching our reactions, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you're new to make sure you get alerted every single time we go live with another video. It helps out the channel a lot. We're brand new, man. We're trying to grow. So if you've got friends, gamer friends, who you think are going to enjoy this type of content, man, share it, man. Word of mouth, or just literally click the share button. It's over down there somewhere probably. Anyway, make sure to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one, man. Peace.